Not so much the case for the Saturday night game between North Melbourne and Sydney. Probably ended the way that most would have expected, with Sydney cruising into a comfortable victory, going 2-2. Kate, what was your thoughts? I mean, North Melbourne fans, would they be a bit disappointed? Chad Warner giving a little bit to some former teammates there before the game.
Well, I think the initial thoughts is Chad Warner's going to cop a fine if the precedent set from Harley Reid flipping the bird was anything to show for it. But a couple of ex-teammates, so Costanti and Parker, a little bit of fire in it as well. This is some big defensive pressure, and Costanti lined him up, was ready to go on it as well.
Serious elbow there, which will be looked at by the MRO. How are you feeling as a North Melbourne fan tonight? Are you disappointed in the performance?
I think you're probably expecting them to show a little bit more. I think North Melbourne now, they should be past the point where they're conceding 10 goals to 3 post half time against a Sydney Swans team who will look into their injuries in a little bit, but they're undermanned at the moment. They're probably not hitting their straps the way that they'd like to, considering they played in the premiership last year. But I think just 10 goals to 3, that's disappointing if you're a North fan. You're probably walking away from Marvel Stadium hoping that they showed a little bit more than that.
Well, you say they're undermanned, and one man that stepped up in a massive way early this year has been Riley Bice.
Yeah, my Saturday king. I loved everything that he's produced. I just love mature age recruits. I think what they can add to teams straight away, they're ready-made, they're ready to go. He had 26 disposals, 15 marks and 7 score involvements. He was playing off the halfback, but if you watch these highlights, he's playing all over the ground. He's pushing really far back to help his defence, taking intercept marks like that, and then also delivering the ball on a platter inside forward 50. So he's been a real shining light. I love what he's added, and I also love the faith of these clubs to recruit mature age draftees and add them into the squad straight away, and you can see that you can reap the rewards from having them and having them ready to go, having played a lot of VFL footy.
Well, you mentioned that Sydney are undermanned, and it doesn't look like the reinforcements are coming back anytime soon. They've got Collingwood and Gatherand coming up, Port Adelaide, and then following that, they've got a few other tough clashes against Gold Coast and GWS. Run us through the injury list in terms of what they're missing on field with these guys, and again, how they're going to cover these gaps in the coming weeks still.
Oh, well, I think the big one, obviously, the latest injury to pop up was Tom Papley during the week with the heel, and there's just, I think the thing to note with this is so many of them are such long-term injuries to their stars. So Errol Goulden, round 15, which I think is still a little bit of a question mark around as well. So there's just really long-term injuries. The way that they've been able to, they're 2-2 at the moment. They're not playing their best football, but it's a question around, they can't wait for these guys to come back because a lot of them are going to be out for a large chunk of the year. So players like Riley Bice are having the opportunity to step up. They need to keep finding those opportunities through other players. So yeah, I think obviously every team has injuries, but I think they need to move forward and find who can fill these gaps because, as we saw, they're a long time out of the game at the moment.
Massive setback for Callum Mills there as well through the week with that plantar fasciitis.